What's up, everybody? This video is going to be a tad bit different. And the reason why it's going to be a tad bit different because I really kind of want to talk about something. Is there going to be a divide amongst Black Panther fans? Now, I know that's going to sound crazy to some of y'all because you're thinking, what kind of divide are you talking about? And some other fans is going to know exactly what I'm talking about, especially when it's coming to the possible death and non-return of T'Challa. We don't know. Um, I'm recording this. It's Tuesday. I go see the movie on Thursday. The earliest release that I can possibly get Thursday. So we don't know that yet. But there is something that is brewing, especially it's Twitter. So we already know how people express themselves on Twitter. My big thing is this. Number one, it is a film, and is the film good? That's one of my biggest things that I'm looking at. Is the film going to be any good? Because no matter who, what, where, when, and why, if it's no good, nobody's going to care. The second thing that I want to talk about is I want to do some revisionist history. And this is the reason why I want to do some revisionist history, because a lot of people are going hard for Chadwick, especially after he died. And phenomenal actor. I'm not taking anything away from him. So that's why I say I want to do some revisionist history. I remember when I seen Captain America Civil War for the first time. And the first time we get to see T'Challa running down, chasing Bucky was amazing. Matter of fact, seeing Chadwick and as a role of T'Challa when it was in the UN and everything, just seeing him and knowing that the Black Panther is actually now coming on film, not cartoon, because people need to really understand why T'Challa in the Black Panther story is so important, because we actually didn't get to see Black Panther on any type of film until I believe it was 2009, but don't quote me on that. But it was the Avengers movie. And it was a cartoon movie, and it featured the first time you actually seen T'Challa in any animated film, television publication. So that was the first time we actually got to see T'Challa. And then, we got to see him in Captain America Civil War, which he was everything that I wanted him to be. If you ever read Black Panther comics, T'Challa is kind of cold. He's very calculated. He's not a big jokester and different things like that. He's very methodical on everything he does, even if the people of Wakanda don't like him for it, which will go into Doom War and Dark Reign going into Doom War, and you will understand why people, even in his own country, did not like him. One of the tensions between him and Shuri, because he is very methodical. When you're that smart and that intelligent, it takes a lot of thinking and planning and actually looking towards the future instead of that immediate. You're looking towards the future, exactly what you want to do, how to execute it, and make sure that it's properly thought out before you just did it. He's not a big hothead guy, again, very Batmanish. Not even gonna lie. The way that a lot of the comic writers wrote him is very, especially if you're looking at Christopher Priest, very hardcore version of T'Challa to me. Very different than even Stan Lee's writing or Jack Kirby or other people that wrote him. Reginald Hudlin, Ta-Nehisi Coates. Every interpretation is different, but one solid piece of that is that man is methodical, and he's very not brooding, but he just thinks. So, so going back to looking at how T'Challa was portrayed in that first Civil War movie, again, amazing, amazing. Then that leads into the Black Panther film. And this is why I want to do some revisionist history for some of y'all. Because some of y'all are capping super hard. And again, I completely love Chadwick. But I remember coming out of that movie and everyone jumping on Eric Killmonger. Eric Killmonger was the perfect, I would say, let me see, the thought of angry African Americans. And the reason why I say that, because at that time he represented the people, the person who was left to be enslaved. He was that representation for us. He was the one who wasn't welcomed back into Africa because he's the sin of what his king did, his uncle. He is that sin. And they knew it. And he knew it. And it was explained in the movie that he was the one that you should have brought back home. And as an African American male, a lot of us, and I can say the sisters too, but I don't want to speak to them. I'm going to speak to myself. I felt that way. You know, that why didn't, during slavery, more Africans came over in America and fought for us? I'm talking about not just North America, South America, and the Caribbean islands. Why didn't fleets and fleets of Africans come through and didn't come get us? And through history, we found out that we were sold. You know, that certain tribes corroborated in the selling of people that came over to the Americas and to the islands. And looking back at that now, we are the sin. So he was a perfect representation of that. And when he said the line, and here it is right now.
Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships, because they knew death was better than bondage.
When he said that, it struck a chord into everybody. So when people got out that movie, they wasn't clamoring for T'Challa. They were clamoring, saying, you know what? Killmonger was right. Killmonger was the main guy. Why couldn't Killmonger be Black Panther? Even when Chadwick died, people were saying, why didn't they just bring Killmonger back? I'd rather Killmonger be Black Panther. Now, people are okay with Killmonger becoming Black Panther, but not the recast of T'Challa. And I reiterate it over and over and over and over and over again. And literally after this movie is over, after I do my review and probably a couple other videos, I'm done with it. Again, I don't know what this movie is going to do. I don't know what this movie is going to say. But what I am going to do is not talk about how they should recast and how, you know, the Black Panther T'Challa is Black history. I've already said it. It's been said. I'm done talking about it. Because if you don't get it by now, then you will never get it. But again, with that revisionist history, wasn't nobody clamoring for Chadwick in that movie. Chadwick was good in the movie, but the impression that Killmonger, especially again, the ones in America that are frustrated and don't really know all of our history and don't know the why. And he was that antithesis of, this is what happens when you leave someone and you don't come and bring them back. You don't welcome us back into open arms. We gotta go take it.
Hey, Auntie.
That's the thing. We have to take it. And Eric would be perfect from any revolutionary. They said, no, what we're going to do is we're going to use our weapons against them because that's what they did to us. Every African American male who has felt slighted felt Eric Killmonger, not T'Challa. And I remember a lot of people saying that T'Challa was weak even in his thinking because he didn't really truly understand where Eric was come from or was coming from until he actually was in a comatose state and went to the ancestral plane. And then it took him and then, you know, coming back and fighting within his cousin, you know, didn't become diplomatic, didn't think about, talk to him. You know, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I go back and I watch the WandaVision show. In the way in WandaVision, how you had this version of Vision, which was White Vision. You had the one that was created by Wanda, which was the essence of the Vision she remembered. In the thought, besides the booms and explosions and fighting, when they had a war of words and he made them think, it changed his mind. And to a point, I wish we could have got a war of words so Killmonger could get T'Challa to understand where I'm coming from. This is where my anger was coming from. You know, this is where this is why I'm so passionate. Why you have to be a different king. He got a portion of it, but not all of it as I wanted it to. So, that's why y'all need to have revisionist history, because everybody was feeling Killmonger. And unfortunately, it wasn't until Chadwick died where people was like, let's go back and watch Black Panther and see how great Chadwick was as the Black Panther, which he was absolutely phenomenal. This brings me to this point. He still needs to be recast. The role of T'Challa still needs to be recast. I'm going to say this till I die. Now, what Nate Moore, what any of these, Kevin Feige, Ryan Coogler, whatever they do, I'm going to just have to live with it. It is what it is. There's nothing that I could change about it. And I'm going into the mindset to just, hey, I'm going to just enjoy this movie. I'm probably going to bring some tissue, but I'm going to just enjoy the movie. Within saying that, I want people to really understand that there is a female Black Panther. There is a female Black Panther. There are two female Black Panthers. One in the past and one with Shuri. And we're going to have to trust the process. The reason why I say trust the process, because in the comics during Dark Reign, when T'Challa was in a comatose state because Dr. Doom beat the brakes off of him, Shuri, after being rejected by the Panther goddess because she's too headstrong. The character Shuri is totally different in the comics than she is in the movies. She was a warrior. She wanted to fight, learn how to fight, be a better fighter, be smarter than everybody else. And she also envied her brother. So during that 2005 to 2009 run, her character growth is amazing. I would say Reginald Hudlin's run of Black Panther, besides Christopher Priest, is awesome because he brought out the Dora Milaje and all that. But as far as character growth, he, with this brooding, cold, calculus character, he brung him a Queen and Storm. With the role of the Dora Milaje and Shuri and all these other. He made them larger than life. You gotta read the run. He made them larger than life. He had Shuri prominent in the story. She just wasn't a damsel in distress. She was very intelligent, and her character became stronger as she started getting older and she started understanding, even though she still felt like that she could run Wakanda better than T'Challa. They were still being able to be together and to be able to do something spectacular together. The greatest character arc is to see someone who is just so headstrong to get rejected by the God that she serves and stop. He said, you know what? I need to slow down. There's a reason why the Panther goddess boss didn't choose me. Let me think about this for a second and let me grow and let me rise and let me be greater. That's exactly what she did. And she's very prominent in the comics. So this whole notion that real Black Panthers fans are going to appreciate Shuri as Black Panther. The reason why is because, yes, the character growth is a little bit rushed, but I haven't seen the film, so I don't know what the performance is going to overall look like. Don't know. But we're going to see how that works. But within saying that, I'm going to fully support Shuri. In the comics, her character arc is so awesome. I can't help, as a Black Panther fan who goes out and buy these high dollar ass comics, I can't help but to support her. So any woman, any African American woman or woman thinking that, oh, you don't want a black woman just being Black Panther, that's some bullshit. Let me just cut that right where it is right there. It's some absolute bullshit. Because I want Black women to continue to be represented. The problem that I don't want to happen is that men get pushed down and degraded to uplift women. That's what I don't want. Is there gay members in the Dora Milaje? Yes, there is. There's a whole lesbian couple in the Dora Milaje. Get over it. There's a Black woman that was Black Panther with the same goal. The only thing that I wish they would have did is gave her I think it's the fur around her neck. But she's a perfect representation of what was in the comics. And again, I'm going off of purely a comic fan who's read Black Panther comics, seeing what Shuri has been able to accomplish, and just wanted to see her rise. People don't want to see that? Cool. I understand. I get it. I'm not mad at you. I'm only coming from my side of the table with this. So I would say let's watch the film. Let's see what happens. Let's enjoy ourselves. And yes, am I going to agree with everything creative that goes on in these films? No. People can absolutely hate it. Thor, Love and Thunder. Did I enjoy it? Yeah. Because I seen a bigger overall overarching arc that a lot of people didn't see. When you're going through pain and suffering, some of us laugh and be goofy about it while inside crying our hearts out. And that's exactly what Thor was doing. All that goofiness and all of that, they're just hiding the pain and suffering and miserable, just being miserable, not having the love of his life. And then when he found out the love of his life is there and she's cool, you find out she has cancer, stage 4 at that. And I don't know if anyone who's listening to the sound of my voice has lost someone to cancer. Trust me, that's a hard pill to swallow. So I know that personally. So it resonates a little bit deeper with me. And maybe this resonates a little deeper with me also. I don't know. Do I want them to use the death of Chadwick Boseman as a catalyst to promote their movie? No. But at this point, I'm just willing to just watch. Not be so in my feelings. Just watch with an open mind, open heart, and let's see what happens. This your man Dre Mac. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And I will see you guys later. Hopefully you kind of got an understanding where I'm coming from. And let's just move forward. Wakanda forever. I love y'all. Peace and vibe high.